everybody's seeing my screen. No, I haven't shared yet. Yes, so I hope everybody is watching my screen, right? So today's discussion, let me give you a disclaimer that this discussion is all about cloud computing. So it is not the very detail about cloud computing. I would say very basic. So this video is for or the meeting is for someone who doesn't have any knowledge about cloud computing, or have very little knowledge about cloud computing, and so you want to grow more. So cloud computing is a vast field. It's like an ocean. Okay, so we'll just roam around on the beaches of that ocean today. Okay? So it's not a very detailed video, just a very basic one. So if you look at these two photos, right? So on my left hand side, you have one photo of your, say, this is my photo of my son. So this photo you are storing on your local laptop, and on the right hand side, same photo you are storing on Google Drive. So what are the difference here? So that there are a lot of difference you may have. First of all, if I go one by one, that is, if you store the photo on your local laptop, so the first thing is, or the first challenge is, and see the photo from my phone. Can I see the photo from my phone while the photo is on my laptop? Absolutely not, right? I cannot see the photo from my phone while the photo on my laptop. That means I have to send the photo to my phone, only then I will be able to see from my phone. Okay. Number two is the sharing options. So what could be the sharing options? So if I want to share the photo with somebody else, the first option would be giving my laptop, which is a very weird option. Okay. Number two would be sending through email. That means I can send my photo, this photo, to my friend or family member through email. And number three option would be sending through flash drive, or we can say pen drive. Other than these three options, we cannot share the photo from my local machine. Okay. And say, for example, if anything happens on my laptop, say my laptop has crashed. Okay, so what would happen? Uh, I will lose my photo, and then there will be no option for me to recover that photo. And another important thing is that, okay, say for example, I want to share my photo with 100 people without copying. Okay, say what I mean by without copying is that whenever you are trying to send the photo to 100 people, every time either you have to copy that to your flash drive and then send it to you, or whenever you are sending it through an email, every time you are sending, you on your email, it is creating a separate copy of that photo and then send it to 100 people. So can you share this photo to 100 people without this copying? The answer is no. Okay. And another problem is that, can you control the access? Say for example, you have given this photo to somebody to see, but later on, can you just control the access, or can you just stop the access? Hey, you cannot see the photo after 3 days, say for example. So these things you cannot do when you are storing your photo on your local machine or on laptop, right? So exactly what happens if I save the photo on Google Drive? Say, you can you see the photo on your phone while the photo is on a Google Drive? Absolutely yes. That means you can see the photo from your phone. You can see the photo from your laptop. You can see the photo from any machine, as long as you are logging into your Google Drive. You are good. Number two option is a photo sharing. So you see here, the best option would be just to share the link. So on the Google Drive, there is an option to just share the link, and that's good. So once you are sharing the link, everybody will watch the photo. You will click on the link and then watch the photo. And can you recover if the laptop is crashed? Yes, absolutely. That doesn't matter if your laptop is crashed or not, because you don't care. All the memory and everything is on the Google Drive, so that is absolutely easy for you. And number four is that, can you share 100 people without copying? Yes, you can, because now you are just sharing the link. You're doing nothing else. So what happened if 100 people, if you share, not only 100, if you say 1,000 people, you are sharing, you're just sharing the link here. Everybody will watch the photo at the same time without copying the photo. So you see how memory efficient it is, right? So you're not creating different version of the photo. One photo you can share with 1,000 people at the same time. And can you control the access? Yes, of course. How? So here you have shared with 100 people, and from there you decided, okay, fine, 10 people, I will stop the access. You can remove the access from there easily. Okay. So you see now this is just a photo, and then storing the photo on my phone, on my laptop, or storing the photo on Google Drive. So this is just a story of one photo only, right? Now, if you amplify this problem for an organization level, then you would understand that, okay, what are the benefits of cloud computing? Cloud computing, as if you just go to the by book definition, if you go to Wikipedia, then you would see cloud computing is saying that is an on-demand availability of cloud system resource, computer system resource, especially data storage, or you can say cloud storage, and computing power without active management by the user, or without direct active management by user. So this is very complicated. So I also hate these uh, academic things. They make simple things complicated. So if I just made it simple. So in a simple term, what is the cloud computing means? Hosting, or you know, if i if I say it very easily, saving, just a saving your application on a cloud server, like saving on a Google Drive. Simple. Earlier, I gave an example of saving a photo. In the same way, the application that you will be working, or the application that is the customer is using, that application will be stored in a cloud server. So what I mean by cloud server is that, the server that is managed by a third party, not the company or not the me. So that means, uh, so when a company launches this application, right, or could for the internal customer or for the external customer, the application should be stored somewhere, right? So that storage could be on their local server, like saving there on their local machine, something like that, or they can host or save the application to a cloud server. So when you are saving your application or hosting your application to a cloud server, that is exactly called cloud computing, nothing else. Okay, that means cloud server means the server that is managed by some other company, not by that company itself. Say, for example, you are working for say American Express Bank. Okay, American Express Bank, they have some internal applications that they are using for their own departments and everything. So those that application is not managed by uh, American Express Bank, that is managed by some other person. That is called cloud computing. So you see, in a most popular cloud service providers, who are them? Number one is that's called Amazon Web Service. So most of us may not know this. Amazon, as we know, is a giant e-commerce giant, right? E-commerce company. But Amazon Web Service is a sister concern of that Amazon company, and importantly, their revenue, 75% of the revenue from the Amazon group comes from this Amazon Web Service. That means, if the e-commerce giant that we see all over the world, they are just uh, making all the business, moving everyone out of the business. That is just a 25% of their revenue that comes from this Amazon.com. 75% of their revenue comes from this cloud computing service, which is called AWS. And number two, we have Microsoft Azure. So of course, this is a service by Microsoft. Their name is Azure. So call Microsoft Azure. And number three, we have Google, called Google Cloud. In a short, it's called GCP. And other, we have all the local small companies like Alibaba Cloud, we have IBM Cloud, we have Red Hat, lot of companies are there. So number one is AWS, number two Azure, and number three Google Cloud. So what the company will do, say for example American Express, they would say store their application or host their application on these clouds, and then they will get lots of benefits. Cloud computing has lots of benefits, as just I mentioned, right? Saving your photo on your local machine versus saving the photo on Google Drive has a lot of benefit. Like that, hosting your application on a cloud server has a lot of benefits. So how they do it? So basically, this would be a question. So they have, this is called data center. So each and every, you see rack, on the rack they have hundreds of CPUs, or what we know as computers, right? They have hundreds of these, and it's just a one row, like big data center they have. And they share this data center access to whoever their customers are. And they don't have data center in one or two data center, they have data center across the world, and like hundreds of them like this. Okay. In USA only, they have huge presence. And for Microsoft Azure. Now in this picture, I have shown the Microsoft Azure and Amazon Web Service only. But rest of every cloud service providers like Google, they also have, they are across, they are spread across the whole globe. They have like hundreds of thousands of data centers like this, where your company can save or host their application. So now I will go little deeper about this cloud computing. So whenever you are hosting an application, or I can say to run an application, okay, you need several things. First of all, you need the application, of course, and then you need the data, because every time the application will generate data. Okay, say for example, easy example could be your Facebook account. Every time you are posting photos, every time you are posting your status, every time you are uploading new videos. Okay, so every time the application is generating data, each and every day it is generating data. So it has data, it has runtime. That means, uh, in a simple term, it's, you can say, the RAM. Okay, the random access memory. Okay, and it needs middleware, operating system, virtualization, server, storage, networking. These, all these things are required to run an application. So what we just see behind the scene, all these things are there. So whenever you are, when a company manages by their own, uh, they have to manage all these things. And then when the company decided, okay, fine, all the physical machines, if I outsource them, if I say that, okay, only I will not buy any physical machine, not, no data center and everything, I will just give it to the third party companies like cloud providers. That is called infrastructure as a service. That means all the infrastructure like network, storage, server, virtualization, all these are physical machines. So when you are giving the physical machine part to some cloud computers, companies or cloud service providers, this concept is called infrastructure as a service. And one step ahead, when you are giving only you are keeping the application and its data, but rest of everything you are giving to the cloud computing company. That is called platform as a service, or PaaS. This is called IaaS. Okay, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service. And the final and the most, where everything you are giving to cloud, application, data, runtime, everything you are giving to cloud, you don't, the company has nothing. That is called software as a service. Okay, but in a real life, no company gives everything to the clouds. They kind of mix and match. So it depends on which department you are in. Say for example, your team is developing an application for a finance team. So definitely finance team would not be interested to host everything on the cloud, maybe they would choose platform as a service or infrastructure as a service. They would keep the data on all these things to them. Another thing could be marketing team. So marketing team may not need any sensitive data, or they may not deal with sensitive data. That's why they may go for 100% cloud computing, which is software as a service. So it depends on which team you are serving, on nature of the business, nature of the departments in the organization, and so many things. So this is there are three phases of cloud computing. Number one is infrastructure as a service, or short form is IaaS, and then platform as a service called PaaS, and number three, software as a service, where called SaaS, SaaS. Okay, so SaaS means everything is managed by the cloud computing company. No, nothing. And platform as a service is only the application and the data. The rest of everything is managed by cloud computing servers. And here only the physical machines are managed by the cloud computing companies. So now I will go to AWS. So how AWS pricing is there. So as you know, because since if you are using AWS, you do not have to buy any server. Say for example, you are going for platform as a service, okay, or in infrastructure as a service. So here you don't have to buy anything. So only you are hosting your application on the AWS server, just like you are saving your photo. It is not saving as it as is not as easy of like saving your photo. There are some architects are there who knows how to efficiently host your application on AWS. But how the pricing is there, the pricing is very very good, I would say, because they have three pricing models. So first of all is pay as you go, exactly the way we used to use phone on Bangladesh or India. Same thing. That means how much you are using, you will be paid based on that. It's just like a postpaid service. So say for example, your application is used for 5 hours, they will only charge for five hours. They will not charge for the whole month or whole year. Okay. And if your application, nobody uses your application, then they will not charge you. It's called pay as you go. And then number two option pricing model, they have save when you commit. Save when you commit means, say as a company, if you tell them that okay, in after 3 days from now, we may we may need to use the application for 10 hours. Now we are using for 2 hours a day. After 3 days it will be 10 hours a day. Then they will say, okay, since you guys have informed us early, we'll give you a discount. So this called save when you commit. You have committed them, okay, this is the time we will use it, and then only then based on that they will charge at a discounted rate. And number three is pay less by using more. Simple. It's a bulk service. That means for an organization, they have some 50 applications they are hosting on AWS, they will charge less. So three pricing model they have. As you can see, these pricing models are very very efficient for an organization level, because you see, if the company used to buy their server, and they have some operating cost on the server, like they have to maintain the server, they have to hire technicians, they need electricity bill, lot of things are there. But here, no, nothing. Pay as you go, or save when you commit, or pay less by using more. So that means it is very very uh, it is very very, I would say, cheap and very very cost effective. Okay, for if the company uses any cloud service providers. And comparison, I can say that okay, I was studying an article that is uh, in-house server versus cloud is just 18% of what the cost the company would occur or commit in a uh, in-house server. Say for example, a company spends like $100 for storing in their in-house server. They would spend some $18 for the same business if they run on cloud computing, or AWS, could be Microsoft Azure or any other vendor. So now, if I say the benefit, right? So what are the benefits? Number one is the cost cutting. That means it's a huge cost cutting, as I just mentioned. This is just like 18%, roughly 18% of what they would have used. Number two is disaster recovery. Say my just like my photos, right? So if my laptop is crashed, what I would do? My photo will be lost. Say same thing. Say for example, the company has their own server, the server is damaged, the application is gone, and the business is gone. Now IT or application, everything is not a luxury, it's a mandatory for an organization. Everything is in IT. So if they shut down their business for 2 hours, they will have huge revenue loss. So if they maintain in their own own in-house server, that is a big risk. Number two is hacking. Three is hacking. So hacking means, say the hacker, if somehow hacks their server, they are gone. Okay, but contrary to that, if they host on the AWS or Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud, I mean cloud service provider, the hacker would, since their application will be distributed among all the data centers across the world, how many data center the hacker would hack, right? It's not possible. So this is much more safer as well. And number four is scalability. Scalability means anywhere you host your application, and your business is not location dependent. Say for example, our nexxvali, so our everything is we are doing it remotely. Right now we are in Wisconsin, but say for example, next year we are moving to some other state. That doesn't matter, our service will not be impacted. Same way, if a company manages their own data center in a specific location, say Arizona, and so they have to be in the Arizona, their business is have to be in the Arizona, they cannot change it. But here, if they host in cloud server, they can go anywhere. And definitely, number last point is the peace of mind. For a um, for a top management of a company, or especially the finance team, they are hosting the CFO. Okay, they are spending on the IT infrastructure and resource. They are like of less uh, prone to any risk or everything, and then their return on investment is high. Say for example, as I just mentioned, right, cloud computing has a lot of benefits. So if I maintain my own cloud, it is $100. Own server, it is $100. If I host on cloud, it is like $18. So huge cost benefit is there, and then CFO of a company would love it. So now I will share you a very famous video of mine. Is related to cloud computing. I would I would say you guys will enjoy it. Let's watch this video.
You have big ideas to streamline your business and drive sales through the roof. But to get there, your ideas need business apps. And business apps have always been too expensive, especially in times like these. Behind each one is a world of complexity. They need a data center with office space, power, cooling, bandwidth, networks, servers, and storage, a complicated software stack, and a team of experts to install, configure, and run them. You need development, testing, staging, production, and failover environments. And when there's a problem, good luck. You call technical support, and they don't know, so they blame someone else. Oh, and when new versions come out, you would upgrade, but that might bring the whole system down. Now, this is for one app. When you multiply these headaches across dozens or hundreds of apps, it's easy to see why the biggest companies with the best IT departments aren't getting the apps they need. Small businesses don't have a chance. Cloud computing is a better way to run your business. Instead of running your apps yourself, they run on a shared data center. You just plug in, like a utility. This makes it fast to get started and it costs less. It's like Gmail compared to Microsoft Exchange. With Gmail, do you need servers and storage? No. Do you need a technical team to keep it up and running? No. Do you have to do upgrades? No. When you use any app that runs in the cloud, you just log in, customize it, and start using it. That's the power of cloud computing. This model is so much better, it's changing the way we think about software. Not just for consumer apps, it's also being used for business apps. We call this enterprise cloud computing. Businesses are running all kinds of apps in the cloud these days, including custom built apps. Why? Because you can be up and running in a few days, which is unheard of with traditional business software. They cost less because you don't need to pay for all the people, products, and facilities to run them. And it turns out they're more scalable, more secure, and are more reliable than the vast majority of apps out there. Here's why. They're based on an architecture called multi-tenancy. With a multi-tenant app, there isn't a copy of the app for each business that's using it. It's one app that everyone shares, but it's flexible enough for everyone to customize for their specific needs. It's like a giant office building where everyone shares the infrastructure and services, like security, yet each business can customize their own office space. It just means apps are elastic. They can scale up to tens of thousands of users or down to only a few. Upgrades are taken care of for you, so your apps get security and performance enhancements and new features automatically. Now, the way you pay for cloud apps is also different. Forget about buying servers and software. When your apps run in the cloud, you don't buy anything at all. It's all rolled up into a predictable monthly subscription, so you only pay for what you use. Finally, cloud apps don't eat up your valuable IT resources, so your CFO will love it, and you can focus on projects that really impact the business, like deploying more apps. Cloud computing is a simple idea, but it can have a huge impact on your bottom line.
So yeah, so now I would go for some certifications. So since cloud computing is a massive thing, and then there are some very good certifications and career prospects are there for us. So only I will, since I'm also AWS certified, that's why I have a very good favor of AWS, you can say. But that's why I just showing you what are the career paths for AWS. Okay, so if you want to become an AWS certified, first of all you have to get this certification called AWS Cloud Practitioner. Okay, so this is whatever we just discussed. It is more of like this, or you can say 30% already covered for this course, AWS Cloud Practitioner. There are some other things that you need to know. What is auto scaling, all these things. When you study, you will get to know these things. So this certification is very easy to get, and if you get it, that will open your door for to become an, either you can go to the architect stream, or you can go to the operation, or you can go become a developer. So for example, you choose this career, so you can be a sysof administrator, then if you get that, and then finally you can get a DevOps engineer, cloud certified DevOps engineer. If you choose this stream, you can become a solution architect. So the first one is solution architect associate, and then solution architect professional. So other than this, there are some specialty areas, as we know, data analytics, machine learning, security, database, advanced networking. All these things are there. If you make yourself specialized on that area, then it will be good. So what I'm trying to say is that you have very good options, very broad opportunity in for you to become a certified cloud certified or AWS certified. So why I insist everybody to go for AWS, because since they are the number one, if you get a certification, you have a better opportunity of working for a big number of companies who uses this AWS and everything. Okay, and so it just now I just pointed out the solution architect salary. So if you can see the mean average salary for is AWS certified solution architect is $132,000, and it goes as max $500,000 a year. So it's a huge one. Definitely, the more experience you will have, the more salary you will get. And so what they do, solution architect, they basically design the whole thing, that how the application should be hosted on AWS, should be the pricing, how the mechanism will work, all these things. So if you have any of these certification, especially solution architect associate, definitely you can reach there. Yeah, and then since we are all learning testing, or we are all learning DevOps, from here we can accelerate our career in this cloud world. So another very important thing is that, so whenever you go to the interview, right? So when the interviewer would say that after the end of the interview, say, hey, do you have any questions? Never say that I don't have any question. This is a trap. So it's a trap means So as an interviewer like me, I also, whenever I ask this question to an interviewee, I expect that they would ask some intelligent questions. Okay, so from the cloud computing, I just pointed out these intelligent questions you may ask, but there are a number of questions you can ask. Okay, the first question you can ask, that where is the application hosted? You can ask them. Okay, so the application that your team is working on, where it is hosted? Is it hosted in in-house server, or it is hosted in cloud? And then second question you ask, okay, is it in-house or cloud based? That's what I said. Okay, and if it is cloud based, which vendor you are using? Are you using AWS, Azure, or GCP? And then you can ask, like, what are the benefit you are getting from migrating to cloud? Definitely each and every company nowadays, they are migrating to cloud. So it's a trend. So then you can ask this question, okay, what are the benefits that you are having for migrating your application to cloud? And then you can ask this question, okay, what do you think the future of cloud computing could be? So these questions, you may ask, that would help you to close your interviews, everything. That's pretty much it. So do you have any question? Now I'm open to the questions. Anyone has any question?
Yes, I do have a question. So you say you're just taking this as a basic class, right? So are we getting more classes on cloud computing in the future?
For the testing stuffs that we are learning, right? For us, if we know the basic, what I just shared with you, this is be more than enough for you. But uh, in future, when we'll open special cloud computing classes, especially DevOps based cloud computing, definitely you will get to know more. We have a plan. We have a plan because since everything is moving to cloud, we have here from nexxvali, we have two stream of uh, you can say training we provide. Number one is QA, and then number two is DevOps. But both are now moving to cloud. So uh, especially the DevOps cloud will open in future. Then we get to know. But for now, for the testing, this is more than enough. Whatever I just shared with you, if you understood them, this is more than enough.
I think thanks for the answer. So it means like right now this is you guys do not have any other course, but in future you may add it, right?
I We may create a separate stream for cloud computing, but that would be a separate thing. That will not be under testing or DevOps.
So how far is the in future?
I don't know. It depends on the market demand and everything.
I
But
see. All
for
right.
now, what I'm trying to say is that the course that you are going through is a QA course. For this, the simple knowledge on cloud computing, what are the vendors, uh, what is platform as a service, what is infrastructure as a service, what is software as a service. If you can tell them, that is more than enough.
Thank you. Fair enough.
Sure, sure. Thank you for your question. Any other question?
I have a question.
Sure.
After the foundation certification, the if you want to go to the specialist sector, the how much time it will take to get that certificate, or what the procedure of that get that certificate?
Oh, that's a good question. So see, these are all self-paced. So the way to get the AWS certification for any level, foundation level, associate level, professional level, any level, first of all, you have to personally study. There are a lot of study materials out there. Then YouTube is full of good resources in for AWS. Okay, and there is a very good channel called A Cloud Guru. Hmm. They are the number one in the world, A Cloud Guru. So you can personally study from them, and then you have to register for your exam. So for a cloud practitioner, it takes maybe $150, and when you register, they will give you an option to sit for the exam on premise, or you can sit for the exam from home. Okay, on premise means they have some affiliated exam center, mostly universities, so you can go there and give their exam. And you can now after the covid they have started the home was also. I got the certification while I was at home, so they will, you have to share your surroundings, that nobody's there. You are in a locked room, and they will continuously monitor, and then you can pass the exam from there. So once this cloud practitioner is done, yeah, then you can move up to the next level. And then there are some prerequisites that you'll personally study, and then you go for the exam. So like that, every exam you will pass, and then your knowledge on cloud computing would be richer day by day, and then you will be able to get a good salary job, because there is huge demand for cloud computing.
After the foundation, can I get the job?
Yes, absolutely. If you get, if you get the foundation one, then also you will get a good salary job, because foundations are for everyone, for top managers, salesperson, somebody who is a test engineer, somebody who is a developer, DevOps. Everybody can take this. And as you go for one step ahead, one, then you will choose, you can choose your specialty. You can either go to a solution architect side, or you can go to a developer side, or you can go to a DevOps side, and that is based on your choice.
Bhaiya, I have a question.
Sure.
The question is with cloud computing, and this is pretty much related to DevOps. So, if I have two application development running, and one is in on premises and another one is running on SaaS, so which one I should, as a test developer or test environment manager, which one I should focus more?
It depends on your business need. So your organization will tell you that which application is most important. It is not that uh, who all the application that is hosted on cloud are the best one, and whoever uh, host the application on their local server, they are the bad. It's not like that. It depends on the security. Say for example, there are some highly secured application for banks. They are not legally allowed to host their application on cloud. There are some government rules as well. So there are so many consideration for a company to decide whether to go to the cloud or to go to the in-house server. And if they go to the cloud, what service of the cloud they would take: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, or full software as a service SaaS. So it depends. So your or organization need, your organization management decision would decide, okay, which application to focus on more.
Okay, thank you, Raya.
Sure. There is another question from Nusrat Islam.
Slagum bhai, I have a question, but not regarding this one. I have a question regarding the QA course. So can I ask it here, or I can?
You can ask it, but this is, since this is all about cloud computing, I would expect you would ask about cloud computing, because if you have any question, definitely we can discuss it about the QA course later.
Yeah, okay. Then I will ask the question later because it's about the QA course, not
QA
about.
course. Okay, okay, yeah. Thank you. Anybody any question?
Does it require any experience for the job?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
For the job, they require any experience like 2 years, 5 years experience for the cloud computing.
Of course, yes, because the reason I just shared this presentation with you is to generate a quest of knowledge. I mean, you to so that you are getting interested for the cloud computing. Okay, so as a QA, if you work for say 3 4 years, you will have very much you have several opportunities. Number one opportunity is that you can go to a cloud, or you can go to cloud. You can accelerate your career in a cloud route. Can be a developer, can be a solution architect, and can be a a system operator. Okay, or you can be a purely a developer, or you can be a pure DevOps. So there are so many options are there, but since my personal favorite is cloud, because cloud is now getting very famous. It is just they are saying that the it is not even go to the peak, it's just started. It's like a taking an aircraft, right? So whenever aircraft goes to the flight, it it goes just it's just a took off. It didn't go to the cruising altitude. So it a lot of carrier options are there.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, you have there are other questions. So Rosie Kabir, please raise your ask the question, please. Yeah, what's the question? Rosie Kabir, maybe you're in a
হ্যাঁ
mute.
ভাইয়া শুনতে পাচ্ছেন? ও সরি। তো
Yeah.
ভাইয়া এই ক্লাউড কম্পিউটিংটা কি আইটি কোম্পানির ব্যাংক হিসাবে কাজ করতেছে? যে মাইক্রো সার্ভিস হিসেবে ওরা সবকিছু ওদের ইয়েতে সেভ করে রাখবে। তারপর লাইক যখন যে যার লাগবে সাপোজ আমার সার্ভার থেকে যদি কোনো কিছু ডিলেট হয়ে যায়, সো আমার থেকে ওইটা নিয়ে ওয়ারি করতে হবে না। সো আমি আমার ক্লাউড কম্পিউটিং থেকে যেটা আমার ডিলেট হইছে বা প্রবলেম রাইজ হইছে, সো ওইটা আমি কালেক্ট করতে পারবো। লাইক এটা ইন এ সেন্স লাইক আইটি কোম্পানির ব্যাংক, রাইট? এভাবে কি কাজ করে?
Uh, if you're saying, if you're referring bank to something to store for permanent time, permanently, yeah, that could be. But so what happens is that if your company is relying, or if the application that you will be working on is hosted on AWS or any other cloud, right? There is no point of that I would say miss or crash the application, or I would say no disaster recovery, all these things, because uh, so when you are, say for example, you are hosting on AWS Amazon, so you will have a special agreement with Amazon that they will they will back up your application to all their data centers in the world. Maybe 50 data centers they will save your application. So one, if your application crashed in one data center, within few minutes they will start on the other data center. You may not know it. So that is a permanently you can save your application.
ওকে, তাহলে আমি এই অ্যাপ্লিকেশনটা ইউজ করলে লাইক আমি সিকিউর থাকবো যে হ্যাঁ, আমার কোনো অ্যাপ্লিকেশনের কোনো ইস্যুস হইলে ওইটার আমার হেডেক নিতে হবে না। ওরা আমার জন্য যে নো ম্যাটার হোয়াট যেখানেই রাখছে সেভ করে ওরা আমার জন্য কালেক্ট করে দিবে।
That is, yeah, exactly for storage. But yeah, if
হুম,
you
হুম।
have technical issue with the application, then your developer would solve it. You're just
হ্যাঁ,
hosting over there.
ওকে, আমি যদি আমার এন্ডিং এ লাইক ওইটা লাইক কোনো ইস্যুস হইছে, আমি আমার এন্ডিং এ ওইটা সলভ করছি, রাইট? তাহলে
Hmm.
ওই সলভ জিনিসটা কি ক্লাউড কম্পিউটিং এ অটোমেটিক্যালি ওরা সলভ, মানে আমি যেটা আমার এন্ডে সলভ করছি, সো ক্লাউড কম্পিউটিং এ কি ওইটা অটোমেটিক্যালি সলভ হয়ে যাবে নাকি আমার থেকে ওই জিনিসটা আপডেট করতে হবে?
No, you have to deploy the change. Whatever changes you are making, you have to
হুম,
deploy
হুম।
the change in your server. So same thing, in your local server or in your cloud server. Somewhere you have to deploy your change, right? So in a cloud server, you just deploy your
আমি
change. And
আমার লোকাল সার্ভারে ডিপ্লয় করলে ওইটা অটোমেটিক্যালি ক্লাউড সার্ভারেও আপনার ওইটা ডিপ্লয় হয়ে যাবে, রাইট?
যদি তারা
সেম
দুইটাই
কাজটাই
মেনটেন
করবে।
করে, if they maintain both the things, there are some companies who does like this called shadow model. Shadow model is that they are hosting their application on their local server, but they are making a shadow on the cloud. So what happens if there is any issue on the local, immediately the cloud server starts, and then they don't lose their business. But if they completely host their application on cloud, then they are free. Just every time they will update their software version, that's it. They don't have to worry about anything.
ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ ভাইয়া, থ্যাংকস ফর
Got
ইউর
it, right?
আনসার। ইয়া,
Am I able to answer your question?
ইয়েস ভাইয়া, থ্যাংক ইউ।
Any other question? Okay, so if you don't have any other question, then we can end it here. Thank you everyone for joining, and